Daily Ask Reddit. Women of Reddit, what's something that guys do on a first date that tick all the boxes? If you are on a date, then do what you are supposed to. Be interested, show who you are and be in the moment. Don't be preoccupied with your phone, don't get hammered, and don't assume sex. If you are on a date, you are giving the impression you are interested. It isn't a hookup. Being hammered is when I'm at my best though. You know, back in college this girl met me, and I was hammered. She said I was so much fun. Gave me her number. Every weekend it was just drinking and partying, having a blast. She's my wife now, 2 kids. She goes to bed at like 830. No more drinking. People mature. Okay, this is prob specific to me, but for question A the boxes would be: seems genuinely interested in my hobbies / interests and wants to discuss them rather than lecture me on them. And this goes both ways for me, since if I like a guy I genuinely want to know and understand his interests too. Seems well groomed. I don't expect black tie, but if I'm making an effort to look good to impress, a little effort on the other end in terms of hair brushing, teeth brushing, etc. goes a long way. Seemingly slightly nervous at first. And I don't mean this in a he's twitching and either about to pee himself in fear or reach for the knife to stab me. I just mean it's cute if a dude is enamored enough with me to seem a little nervous at first. Shyness can be really endearing when it's because you want to impress the person you are with. Just not overboard to where yeah I have like 16 yachts and own 3 companies and BD lies are the go-to cause. That is not what I mean. Or the opposite end of the spectrum. Stone cold silence out of fear. But think slightly stumbling over words, maybe fumbling their phone while checking it, etc. Now for the murder boxes. No pause in conversation. He just talks about himself the entire time. Bonus points if he adds in anything about his exes being bitches, his mother being overbearing, or how some girl wouldn't date him when they were still in 8th grade together. Very forcefully trying to pay for the date and take command over the whole thing. I'm there to go Dutch. I appreciate the offers, but if dude is seriously trying to force me to let him pay, I'm going to think there's an ulterior motive there. A guy that smiles, makes me laugh, seems interested in how I'm doing, flirts but isn't overly love bombing or fake charming, is nice to the waitstaff. I actually like if a little nervousness shows, as long as they're able to reciprocate in the conversation. Technically my first date with my boyfriend was me drunk texting him to come join me at the bar I was at with some friends. We'd be flirting via text but nothing about going out or dating had been brought up before. He showed up very soon after the invite, obviously freshly showered. My ass was really drunk at this point and I don't like to play games, so when he showed up showered and was smiling and patiently greeting all my friends, I knew he was interested. We took an Uber back to his place, where I spent the night. This mofo set an alarm to make sure I was awake for work, got up with me, called me a cab home, rode in the cab with me to make sure I got home safely, and paid for the cab, all at around 6 AM. I thought for sure this was going to be a one night stand, but he texted, while I was at work, to tell me he wanted to see me again. We spent every day together for the next 3 months and we have been together ever since. The biggest checked box for me was that he had his shit together because he cared about me getting to work and made sure I was safe. He does not get sexual on the first date. No perverted comments, no trying to sleep with me. Also he needs to be kind not only to me, but to the waiter as well. Jesus, I feel like this is so obvious. Like bare minimum. Every coherent dating advice out there extols don't be needy, emotionally or sexually. Silly, the bar is so low. Actually planning out a date, not just repeating I dunno, whatever you wanna do is cool. Having a generally positive outlook / disposition, being kind to everyone we encounter, being funny but still polite, asking interesting and thought-provoking questions, doing gentlemanly things like opening the car door. If there is a clear connection / attraction, being confident about going in for a kiss at the end of the night, but without necessarily the expectation that it will lead to sex right away. Saying text me to let me know that you got home safe. That last one is incredible. Also lets me tell them good night again right before they sleep. : close bracket. Being kind to the waitstaff is incredibly important, and one thing my wife and I despised most about other bad date experiences. It's the easiest way to see a lack of empathy, misunderstanding of a situation, as generally anyone who's worked in restaurants can tell you. It's rarely just the waiter or waitress screwing up, and an overall lack of being able to roll with any perceived obstacle. Take notice, because I guarantee if he or she treats those helping them shitty, eventually they'll treat you shitty too. Is polite to any staff. Looks like they put an effort in. Shows up on time. Good conversation. Doesn't badmouth exes. Doesn't drink too much. Doesn't spend it on their phone. First ones that come to mind.